again, like I mentioned, we had Martin O'Neill with us on the weekend. This is what he had to say. And when Martin O'Neill speaks about the manager hot seat at Leicester, he would know more than most.
But I don't think in terms of what Brendan has done in the last couple of years, it's underrated. Yes, I take your point about Liverpool, losing out essentially that slip by Gerrard and causing a major problem. But he goes to Celtic, does very, very well, certainly domestically speaking anyway. They picked up trophy after trophy after trophy, which was great, and come down to Leicester, got a trophy behind him and won the FA Cup, which is really great for Leicester City. His only disappointment would be, I think, and that might be shared by those who employ him, would be just not getting into the Champions League, falling at the final stage. But that can still be rectified. But the owners have been terrific for him. There's a new training ground as well too. I've not been there, but they say it's absolutely phenomenal. And I don't think there've been, the owner and the son don't think there've been anybody as popular in the Premier League as them. So they put heart and soul into the football club, and Brendan is guiding it strongly at this moment. So that can all be good news. So I'm not so sure about the underrating part of it all.
More with Martin O'Neill on our YouTube platform. He gives some really brilliant insights. But there he is talking about Brendan Rodgers. And the line of questioning, Rob, was how much the Liverpool job tainted his reputation to the point where he went overseas and he's come back. But he's never really been linked with one of those big clubs, with the exception of Arsenal, now Newcastle. So what do you think about his reputation in the English game? Because personally, I think he's a fantastic manager. What he's achieved with Leicester, how far he took Liverpool, which is now eclipsed by Jurgen Klopp, I know, and what he's done at Celtic, and even his style of football when he was at Swansea back in the day.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And he got Swansea into the Premier League. He is probably the best British manager about at the moment. And you say he hasn't been really linked with the big jobs, but it seems like every week he's linked with another job. I mean, it's Man United now if Solskjaer gets the job. So, he seems to, his reputation has really developed with what he's achieved at Leicester, which is, by the way, I have to say, a miracle. I mean, I know there's the disappointment of missing out on Champions League 2 seasons in a row in the last week of the season. But, the fact that they were up there in the top 4 for more weeks than any other club in the Premier League over those 2 seasons, it's an absolute miracle when you look at the revenue and the budget that the club have. But he's got fantastic owners that back him and support him. And the training ground, I have been to the training ground. Martin hasn't. I've been to the training ground. It's a phenomenal facility. I mean, the level of detail there is incredible. I mean, they've got a top 10 of grass seed that they assess for certain seeds for certain environments. They've got 89 great crested newts down there they know about because they count them at night because they have to as part of their planning regulations there. The level of detail is incredible. And they've got fantastic plans as well for the stadium as well. A massive development. It's not just part of a new stand. It's the whole area they're going to build as well. So the club is certainly a very ambitious one, and Brendan is at the heart of it at the moment. So when he says he's not interested in the Newcastle job, despite the billions that are going in there, I believe him for now because I think he really does see an exciting future at Leicester City.
Is he the best British manager, Adam? Sorry.
Well, no, I was just gonna interrupt because I just wonder whether, what is the job that he would drop Leicester and the Leicester project for? How high is it going to go? I know you mentioned, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there. If it's a big if, and we'll talk about Man United a little bit later on. But is that the only sort of job that he would go to, or does he have sort of aspirations to go abroad, out of England once again?
I think he's got aspirations to go abroad. I think he'd love the Barcelona job. He spent early part, before he came to Watford, actually, travelling around Spain. He's fluent in Spanish and watching training methods. And you can see a lot of the Spanish football philosophy in his approach as well. In the pressing that we used to see at Barcelona. I mean, obviously, they're in troubled times now. That would probably be his dream job, Barcelona. And he said also as well that he'd like to, during his career, have a stab at international football as well. So, but right now, I think Leicester City is a good environment for him because, he's allowed to call the shots. I mean, we talked about Watford earlier, Adam, about, recruitment and who has control and say. He has the final say in all of them. He has control over the football side of the club. He works very closely with the director of football, John Rudkin. So it's a good environment for him. But I think nobody at Leicester City is complacent and thinks that if a Man United came in, he wouldn't be tempted then. As I said previously, Newcastle seems to be a job that might take a couple of managers and a few years to get there. So it's probably not the right timing for Brendan to go and win his career. He's really on the up at the moment.